What's up, it's Cinema Shogun here, and from the exact moment that Will Smith smacked Chris Rock, I knew that he just opened up a whole new can of worms. I knew that that slap would cause a chain reaction through our society as a whole. I knew that our lives would never go back to how they were before that Oscar smack. Now, for the average person that's just coasting through life, not paying attention to too many things, to the average person who doesn't do too much critical thinking and doesn't really try to step back and evaluate our society as a whole, it might seem like I am over-exaggerating by what I just said. Because let's be honest, it sounds laughable that our society is so fragile that all it would take is Will Smith smacking someone on the Oscars for our society to begin to crumble apart. But you see, as someone who pays really close attention to these things, I could tell you all that our society as a whole, we're holding on by a few strands. A few strands. And as pathetic as it sounds, and as pathetic as it is, all it takes is for something small like what Will Smith did to bring about the further collapse of our society. Comedy has been under attack for years now. We're now living in this PC society where everyone acts like they're so uptight, like they have a stick up their ass and they can't laugh at anything and all jokes are offensive and this offends me and that offends me. And that's never been the type of person I am. I'm one of the most laid back, kindest persons you will ever meet. But I like a good joke. And I will joke about anything. I just recently lost a finger. I crack jokes about it all day long. Hopefully you get the point, because I only got 9. But as I was just stepping back and looking at this, I realized this is going to have a lasting effect on our society as a whole, because we live in a monkey see, monkey do society. Once one person does one thing, they open up the floodgates to all types of other people. And I know the arguments that are out there, that people could have been slapping people this whole entire time. Will Smith not smacking someone at the Oscars was not what is holding our society back from acting an ass and attacking comedians, but I beg to differ. In fact, since that smack, we have seen several examples of people basically taking up after what Will Smith did. And last night, we saw a perfect example of it, because last night, another famous person, some of you all may know him, some of you all may not, he's a famous rapper by the name of T.I. Well, T.I. has been experimenting with comedy and throwing comedy shows and things of that nature. And yesterday, he was at a comedy show, and some woman on stage, a woman at that, said a joke that he didn't like. And I want you to watch what happened afterwards. I'm going to go ahead and roll this clip, and then I'll be back with my thoughts.
So fucking crap. There is nothing to charge me for. Or no, shut the fuck up for a second. Hey, listen. No. As many times as you joke on that shit, nigga, I'm gonna check your motherfucking ass as long as it takes. Nigga, when you stop talking about it, when you stop playing with me and mine, I'ma stop saying something. Nigga, ain't no motherfucking case, ain't never been no motherfucking case, cause I ain't did nothing wrong, and my wife ain't did nothing wrong. And if you keep on playing with me, nigga, I'm gonna motherfucking continue to confront you publicly, verbally.
First of all, happy Award Day. We've never had a forum on crime. T.I.'s innocent. I truly believe it. Get it up for him. There is no charge.
I don't want to hear none of that shit. Don't play with me about that.
I haven't put his
Hey,
show. And be clear, if I want to make jokes about something, I'll make jokes about something. Absolutely. And no, you're not going to tell me to shut the fuck up and my shit. Tonight, give it up for one night only because this is my shit, nigga. Don't get it twisted. This is my fucking show, nigga. This is my fucking life, nigga. And I do motherfucking comedy. Which means I say what the fuck I want to say. And that's on my mama. That's on my motherfucking mother, period. Ain't nobody, hey, cut that shit. Cut that shit. Let me make another motherfucking thing clear. We don't come on stage to disenfranchise nobody or to shit on nobody, especially no black people. So y'all won't put that on my body. On God. Y'all won't put that on my motherfucking body. I love this fucking art form. I love this craft. And I'm gonna say what the fuck. Nah, get the fuck out of my face. I'm gonna say what the fuck I wanna say.
And just like that, folks, Will Smith started a new trend. Will Smith started a new trend. Do you realize how many men out there have fragile egos? Just fragile egos, and it's often the ones who wolf the most. The ones who puff their chest out the most, like they're big and bad. A lot of them have the most fragile egos you could possibly imagine. And they've been waiting for something like this to happen because they can't take jokes. They can't take someone clowning them. They can't take the disrespect because they don't value themselves the way they should. And they're so worried about what other people think about them. If your ego's intact and you're really so self-confident in yourself, you don't have to constantly worry about what this person's saying and what that person's saying. And if a comedian tells a joke on stage, it's the least of your worries. Now, this comedian, I believe, joked about some allegations that were made about T.I. and his wife. Those allegations being, remember, these are allegations, these aren't facts, that him and his wife kind of run like a sex cult, for lack of better words. Something kind of like what R. Kelly had going on, but as far as we know, allegedly, the women who are involved in this, they're not underage. So there's that. As far as I know, they're consenting. However, him and his wife have been accused of running some very questionable sexual things in their little mansions, you know, having just a house full of women and they kind of just go knock on the door, use them sexually, and then go about their day and toss them back in the corner, if you will. So there's been those type of allegations made against T.I., and this woman joked about it. And this is how he reacted, as you saw. Getting on stage, yelling, cussing up a storm, calling her out of her name, pretending like he wanted to hug her even though he was talking shit to her in her ear, and then snatches the microphone away from a woman who posed no physical threat to him. Maybe he didn't like the joke. Maybe he didn't like that people are joking about these type of things. Did that give him an excuse for what he did? No. Would he have done what he did if Will Smith didn't do what he did? No. This isn't the first time T.I.'s heard a joke about himself, and it's damn sure not the first time someone has joked about the allegations made against him. However, the only factor that has changed since now and then is that Will Smith went on stage and smacked someone for telling a joke. Now a bunch of these people with fragile egos, I'm sure we'll see some women doing it as well. But I think this right here, this new phenomenon that we're dealing with, I think it's going to affect males the most. Because I think males often, they want to give that outward appearance, you know, of being macho and being manly and not taking no shit from anyone. And now we're going to see a lot of people following in Will Smith's footsteps because they saw what Will Smith did and they got inspired by it. They didn't look at it like you or me and be like, man, you know, that was wrong. They didn't look at it like you or me and come up with a different opinion and be like, you know what? I agree with Will Smith taking up for his wife. No, they look at it and got inspired. They looked at it and said, you know what? The next motherfucker that says something about me, I'm going to smack this shit out of him right on stage. That's what they saw. That's how they felt when they saw this. So this is a perfect example of what I was trying to tell you all at the beginning of this video. That what Will Smith did, some people may view it as very minor, or it's a one-off thing. Will Smith smacked someone at the Grammys, stop talking about it. But no, that's not how life works. That's not how reality works. Of course, you could watch the Will Smith smack on your iPhone and then pull off and go to the bar, go to work, go hang out with your friends, live your life. But that doesn't mean that this smack isn't affecting other people in different ways. It doesn't mean that the smack isn't affecting society as a whole. And so many people that dismiss things like this, they're the type of people who never sit down and really grasp what's going on here. When you wake up in the morning and you see all this crazy shit on the news, you see how we as just a whole, like how our world is just going downhill. People are rioting, burning businesses down. Everyone's mad about this. There's just wars popping off everywhere. This stuff doesn't just happen out of nowhere. It happens because of little things in society that cause a ripple effect. And it's like a snowball just going downhill until it smacks into the side of a tree. And that's what we are right now. That's what our society is. We're a snowball, and as we're snowballing downhill, we're not picking up other good things, ways to improve our society. No, we're picking up a bunch of nonsense. We're not progressing anymore. We're going backwards. So we're picking up all of these bad habits. We're picking up all of these new social movements that are totally bad for our society until we just slam into something and all fall apart. And this little slap could just be the straw that broke the camel's back. I know for a fact that this little slap was the straw that broke the camel's back as far as comedy goes. Because like I said, comedy has been under attack for a while now. No comedian is going to go on stage and feel the exact same way that they felt before that smack. Now, I'm sure comedians have been heckled before. Some of them have been attacked before, of course. But when you have someone like Will Smith doing this, it just sends a message throughout our society. Also, when you look at it and realize that a lot of people are praising him, you know? So these people are watching it, they see that all these people are praising Will Smith for what he did. They see that he smacked him and went right back and sat down. He ain't got no charges, he didn't get no consequences, nothing. And people get inspired by it. And like I said, it's sad. It's laughable. It's hilarious until it gets scary. Thinking about the fact that this Will Smith smack could bring about the end of days, which I'm exaggerating a little bit with that. But thinking about how this little smack at the Oscars could have such a big effect on our world as a whole, it's laughable. It's laughable. Like what? Our last shred of humanity was hanging on the balance, and Will Smith smacks someone at the Oscars, and now we've just gone overhill. Now it's over with. It's laughable to think about that. I can make jokes about it all day, but it's a reality, folks, and that's what's sad. Like I said, we're hanging on by strands, and every time something like this happens, it's another strand that pops. Just think of life like, think of our society and where we've come over the past couple of decades. Think of it as a bunch of strands, all right? And every time something like this happens, another strand pops. And what Will Smith did, he just popped another strand that was holding our society together, that was keeping sane or insane people somewhat sane. And now that strand is gone. And now, like I said, he's opened up a whole new can of worms. This smack is just one example. I know you all have sent me clips of someone smacking someone at a tennis tournament. People are getting the soul smacked out of them everywhere. Be careful where you go. You might get smacked today. Who knows? Who freaking knows? I know one thing for sure. There's a lot of people sitting at home watching this video right now that want to smack me because they can't stand the things that I say on my YouTube channel. But with all that being said, I want to hear how you all feel about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video.